Know, O Prince, that between the ending of Marvel Conan and the rise of a new series by Titan Comics, there was an age undreamed. Hither came Free Comic Book Day Conan to tread other free comics under his sandaled feet. This is a review of Free Comic Book Day Conan the Barbarian by Titan Comics. And so, yes, Conan has found a new home at Titan Comics, and this is the first issue they've put out of Conan. And right off the bat, let me just say I've never gotten a comic book from them before. And it's kind of hard to show you this on camera, but this is nice, thick paper stock and nice, thick paper inside. This feels like a premium comic, and that is very nice. That is becoming rarer and rarer in today's comic market. And so, talking about this cover, I love the colors here. It just really pops. I love the rendering here. This is absolutely classic Conan style art. It is just beautiful, perfectly captures the character. And I gotta say, this cover, especially with this new super bold logo, just really, really popped. I was looking for this across several tables worth of free comics, and it was at the end, and that thing just popped. I just immediately saw like, oh, there's Conan. And so you open it up, and on the first page, yeah, you guys know the drill by now. It's the Nibidean Chronicles talking about the rise of Conan. Hither came Conan. You know that. And you get that really familiar map of the Hyperborean Age. And this one is really nice. Marvel threw this in there with their comics. This was very common in Savage Sword back in the day. But man, this is a really nice map because I can tell everything on here. It's very readable, looks nice. I really like this. But I know what your real question is. If you're a fan of this character, what does the interior art look like? The cover is oftentimes not representative of the interiors. And we have seen a lot of different art styles with Conan, and experimentation is good, but I do definitely miss that classic sword and sorcery art style we got back in the day with Savage Sword and the comics and stuff. And I'm very, very happy to report that is exactly what this is. I mean, look at this. It looks so much like Mishima. This looks so much like something that just leaped out of Savage Sword. I mean, I just was so floored when I saw this. And so this comic takes place during the Battle of Venarium, and that is a battle that Conan had when he was young, and it's right after that that he decides to leave Samaria and begin his adventures. This is written by Jim Zub, who did some Conan work over at Marvel during their recent run of Conan comics, and I did review a miniseries by him called Serpent War. And I didn't like it. I felt it had some storytelling deficiencies. However, there's none of that in here. This reads like a great Conan comic. The text in here could have been written by Roy Thomas or Robert E. Howard. It perfectly captures the character, especially the part when he started talking about the Wanderlust. I was like, yeah, that's Conan. So this is night and day compared to Serpent War. And so what I would say to you, right, is that a writer's output can vary greatly between stories, especially when you're doing work for hire, especially when you're writing other characters that other people own, right? And so sometimes things can be very editorially driven. Sometimes the editor can really affect, how a story comes out, or people above the editor sometimes. And sometimes you just work differently under different circumstances. And so if you like Jim Zub's stuff over at Marvel, you're going to like it here, hopefully. And if you didn't, give him a chance. It's a different Conan, different company. This, so far, is really good. And towards the end of this issue, it just starts talking about the world that Conan will be exploring, and it gives us a glimpse at what it looks like, and it's just absolutely perfect. I mean, this is a wonderful bonus to put in this story to give us this preview. Stygia and the Northlands and all of that just looks so great in here, right? And there's even this glorious page that illustrates different Robert E. Howard stories. So up here we've got God in the Bowl, and then Tower of the Elephant. And we've got Rogues in the House and Queen of the Black Coast down here. Not sure what's in the middle there. It may just be a generic illustration, but man, it looks cool. And in the back, there's this editorial talking about their plans. And there's this wonderful illustration of Robert E. Howard with all of these characters that he created, including Cole, Solomon Kane, and Dark Agnes, which is just awesome. And all of this is a teaser for the Conan the Barbarian series, which will be coming in July. Tons of variant covers for that. Most of them look absolutely gorgeous. You can pre-order it right now at your local comic shop. Now, the one detractor of switching companies is that when you go on Comixology, you're no longer going to see all the old Conan comics that they had. But they are working to get all those back in print once again, so they'll be putting out the hardcovers again of the Conan the Barbarian and Savage Sword of Conan runs for Marvel back in the 70s. And I think it was a great idea for them to do this for Free Comic Book Day, because I think this was a great way for us to see what this series would be like. And it's not the first time we've had Free Comic Book Day Conan. Dark Horse began their run the exact same way, and it was good. There were actually other sword and sorcery comics that were available today for Free Comic Book Day. One was Red Sonja. This is a story that leads into the next Red Sonja series. And I usually don't get Red Sonja comics, and Dynamite can be a very mixed bag. You know, it just depends on who they get on here. But I gotta say, the artwork is solid and the writing is fantastic. I am actually really intrigued, and I will probably be reading this at some point. I may wait until it gets on Comixology Unlimited or something. But yeah, I definitely want to know what happens next. It's just really nice to see a well-written, well-drawn Red Sonja story. And Opus also put out this sampler for their Frazetta comics. I believe this contains actual new material, but it kind of gives you this preview of their different series. And so there's 3 different stories in here, and of course Death Dealer had to be one of them. The artwork looks good on all of them. There's also Mothman, which is as weird as it sounds, and Dawn Attack, which also looks really cool. So if you missed this today, you will be able to read it digitally. So Comixology will have this on May 10th. So you can go ahead and pre-order it now, but you're not going to pay anything for it. But on May 10th, you will be able to actually download it and read it. All right, guys, that's it. I hope everyone had a fantastic Free Comic Book Day and got everything they wanted. I will be doing a review of the new Conan series when it comes out. So like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.